Okay, so how I manifested $56,000. Let's just get right to it. Let's cut out the guesswork. I work at this job. I had a student, for lack of, I'm very real. Like, scale from 1 to 10 with being a manifester, I'd put her down at 0.0001. Her life was a wreck. But she was reading this book and she's like, hey, I read this book and it's all about manifesting and receiving things and having a really good outcome. And I literally manifested $1,500. I'm thinking, you manifested $1,500? Like, I didn't have time to read the book. I just did not. So I'm like, well, just give me the gist of it. Like, what did you do? She couldn't give me the gist. But she told me there is a prayer in this book. I said the prayer out loud, and then within a week or so, I got the money. So like, give me the prayer. I don't have time for the book. Like, if you can manifest $1,500, what can I do? Because, I've been pretty dynamic, and we are all dynamic. So anyways, I get the prayer. I read the prayer. It's just like being wildly open. Being wildly open to receiving large sums of money out of nowhere from unexpected sources, all the time with frequency and things like that. So when you're wildly open, you're wildly open. It doesn't mean that it has to be logical. If you're thinking logically, you're going to get logical results. If you're thinking like wildly open, you're going to get wildly open results. So the next day after I say this prayer, I go home, and in my mail, there's this thing like, hey, you could get up to $76,000. And I've seen this, I don't know how many times. And I'm like, okay, I'm wildly open. I'm open. Who knows? Maybe this actually works out. So I get it. I follow all the steps. I do everything that I'm supposed to do. And, I just stayed wildly open, and I wasn't attached. That's a big part. Like, I have to have this 76. That's where resistance comes in. When you're overly anxious, you're overly attached. It's like saying, I don't believe it's going to happen. It's like telling the universe, I have to have it so bad, and I don't trust you to do it, and I want to have all the control. When you believe it, are open to receiving it, let go and allow it to flow, that's when it happens. I did the steps I needed to do. I didn't just do nothing. I didn't just say, oh, $76,000 are going to magically appear, at my house. I did all the things they told me to do. So I did that. And within 6 weeks, I had a check for $56,000. Now, before you start sending me inboxes, hey, I need some money. That was 5 years ago, But I think the biggest thing is that I was not connected to the outcome. I didn't have to have it. I just put it out there that, yeah, I believe it, that I was open to it, and I did receive it. And that really benefited me tremendously. I invested that money 99,000 ways. So the other manifestation thing that I want to share is that I was working at a job that I absolutely hated. Your circumstances are the ones that you accept and the ones you create. And it's like, your reality is going to line up with what you think you're worth. And I guess I thought I was worth, going through all this nonsense that I was going through. And I was working, seeing 30 patients. I had medical assistants, couldn't find them. Just every worst case scenario. One person draw blood, she's nowhere to be found. I got to draw the blood. I got to check people out. It was just stupid. Awful. Then they started getting into fraud. It was just awful. Like, just the worst case scenario. But sometimes life gets harder and harder and harder for you, so that you have to make a different decision. So when they really started doing a whole bunch of fraud, they started having fake doctors, I decided, okay, I'm out of here. So I put in my notice, 6 weeks. I said, I'm out of here. I didn't have another job. I just knew that I will have another job. Where are you going? I have an awesome job. Start speaking it into existence. I have a dream job. That's all you need to know. So I wrote down all the things I wanted in a job. I wanted to be the boss. I wanted to pick my own assistants. I wanted to pick the music because they play the same 10 songs over and over. I wanted to pick the temperature. I wanted to have it close to me. I wanted to be mostly guys. They have way less problem than girls, and they don't complain all the time. I wanted to be able-bodied people. And when I tell you, I literally got every little thing. I've been listening to manifestation videos, attraction, and like somebody said, look in weird places that you don't expect to find things. So that same day, I looked at my junk mail. My dream job was sitting there. I emailed her and said, hey, is this real? And she said, yeah, it's real. Put in my stuff, and I got it. And I'm at that job right now. This could not be a better situation for me. So one of the things is stepping out on faith. I didn't know that I was going to get a job. I didn't know it existed. I just knew that I wanted it, okay? And I was here for it. So you can have the things you want. Trust me. We're going to unpack it. Love ya.